What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and it's going to be a good day because I've got some good news to share with you. I'm going to save that for a second as I walk through my maze of cars. It's raining today, so that got in the way of my detail on my Supra, but we'll get to the Supra in a minute. I've got like these red and yellow ones are mine, and I've got the Volt is tucked in over there, and none of those are mine. I'm actually going to go buy a Lamborghini Huracan today because I need one, maybe two. We're approaching the time of year where I got to buy cars for the rental company and the Huracan. When I have like 8 Lambos, everybody wants Ferraris. When I have a bunch of Ferraris, everybody calls for Lambos. So time to even that out. But check this out. I can't get enough of this. I'm super excited to get this going. Now, this has got a short list of stuff that's got to be done to it. But I just got this extension cable here. See this? I was concerned that I had to rewire this, right? I was like, oh, this doesn't reach, so I can't relocate the coils. And then I went online, $10. I made my life easy, plug and play. And now I can put the coils over here. This is a Ventos, so that's just got to connect, not to that. We're going to put another. We'll get to what we're doing to this. I just figured while I'm here, I can show it to you. Jay's Garage, boom. While I'm here, I'm going to do, not today, but I'm going to do a video. You know, I do videos like, oh, check out this rental car company and they charge you this much and this is how the cars are. I'm actually going to do a video on all of my cars now that I've had them in rotation for, let's just say, 8 months. And I'll let you guys call me out and check out the condition of my cars. And I'll show you what the rental cars should look like after rental use if they're properly taken care of. Boom, let's go in the Corsa Motors. And we'll talk about that Supra. But before we talk about that Supra, let's talk about Vikings War of Clans, because they're today's video sponsor. And I don't know if you've played this game, but it's a tremendous amount of fun. I don't play a lot of games, but this is one worth checking out. Vikings War of Clans was inspired by the most famous strategy and role-playing games of the 90s. We all love them. We played them with a dedication that today's youngsters will never understand. What makes Vikings World so addictive is that more than 20 million online players are constantly changing the way the game evolves by never-ending fighting over resources, forging new alliances, and competing in live events. This game is totally free. I'm not asking you to spend $1 of your hard-earned money. So help support my channel by downloading Vikings in the link in the description below, and you'll get 200 gold coins and a free protective shield, which are going to be very helpful at the start. I'll see you out in the battlefield. Don't forget to look me up, Superspeeders on Vikings. All right, we're back to the action, and we got Cosmo taken apart. Maserati, which looked to have a little bit of a, yeah. That's what happens. This is why you don't let Cosmo test drive your cars, you know? Just kidding. It was a valet. Look at this. We got Dan has his Aventador SV. Aventador, Jesus Christ. LP640. The 670 SV. These cars are selling for big money. These are selling for more than the Aventadors right now. And super collectible. But he drives his, got 6,000 or 7,000 miles on it. And when you have 7,000 miles on it, you do things like swapping belts that don't need to be swapped, but that's just what people do to retain the value on their cars. But honestly, I'm not going to lie, it's a waste of money. And speaking of waste of money, a car wash today would have been a waste of money on this Supra. But that was the game plan. I've got an offer on this car. And when I say I have an offer on this car, I've accepted an offer on this car. And I sent over terms. So, you know the market. Everyone will say it's worth this, it's worth that. I got an offer of $167,000. And the only caveat is they want me to return it back to stock. The terms I sent over were if they send me $25,000 via wire transfer, check, whatever. As soon as I get to $25,000, I will go back, pull up all the parts, and I will switch this back to stock, which is, there's really not as much as you need to. The turbo kit's going to be swapped. The catch can comes off. The stock turbo kit goes over here. That goes on. That's a stock intake, believe it or not. There's really not a lot that has to be done. These cars make big power pretty easily. The hood I have, I'll put the hood on before I get the full paint correction detail. I have to throw in a paint correction. So the hood, front bumper, paint correction, and swapping it back to stock. And again, it's not a done deal yet because I got to get the money. But obviously, an offer has been accepted. there's not really much that has to be done. No, the battery's not. These gauges are the only modification on the inside. This radio, I don't have a factory radio. I don't think that's part of it. He was talking about mechanical. This comes out. There's very, very little, especially on the inside, that has to be done. Underneath, I've got to swap the exhaust, which is easy. Wheels and tires, easy. And then the fuel pumps. I don't have a sound system. I don't have an impressive sound system in it. For me, it works out really well because no matter what Supra I get from here, I can just swap my parts on it and I've got my modified Supra again. I've got a new turbo coming from Garrett for this one to make 1,000 wheel horsepower, which if I don't get the deposit pretty soon, I'll do that before I do that, because if the parts are coming on and off, not a big deal to swap the turbo. But not a lot has to be done. When I get that, it was like a no-brainer to accept. For me, some people, people in the like collector's world are saying, hold on to it, don't sell it, it's going to be worth a hell of a lot more. To me, 167 is the right price. It's going to cost me, figure 4 or 5 grand, plus so figure 5 or 6 grand with I'll net 160 out of it. If I go through the auctions, if I'm paying auction fees on this side, paying auction fees on that side, yeah, I could get a couple more bucks, but I get to keep all my parts, which actually has a value to me, because that doesn't limit the car. If I buy a car that doesn't have the parts that I want on it and I have to beef it up, I don't have to pay essentially buy all of those parts again. I've got everything essentially turnkey, and that makes me happy. So that was my good news. I'm glad I got to share it with all of you. Quiet on set, you know? Just kidding, you can take your call. So that's where we stand. I unfortunately don't like to show the car when it looks like this, but it's a real car owned by a real person, and it's real dirty. And when this rain passes, you like how I parked the Supra inside, but all the Ferraris are outside? That's just how I roll. But thanks for watching. I'll keep you in the loop. As I said, this month is going to be dedicated to finishing the Corvette and finishing the truck. Then the Supra, Evo are on the agenda. I know everybody was, I've said in other videos that I'm going to be going out to Pocono to race this car. And unfortunately, I'm not going to Pocono to race this car or my Corvette. I'm not actually even going to Pocono. I didn't realize that Pocono for Slipstream overlaps my friend Matt Farah, you know who he is. Matt Farah is getting married on that day, so I will be at his wedding, and I'm not going to skip Matt's wedding to go race. That would be a dick thing to do. And I'm really looking forward to it. So that'll be a good time, but I'm not going to be racing at Pocono. If anyone was expecting to see me out there, I apologize to both of you. And yeah, that's the update, and I'll keep you in the loop. I will see you tomorrow when we get back into, the donk is coming up too. There's a lot of stuff coming up, but thank you for watching. We're going to keep wrenching. And you see Cosmo working, you normally don't see Cosmo working. It's a pretty cool sight. Show them how it's done, Cosmo.